In 2015 in Paris, states agreed to save the Earth by promising to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius. However, in 2021, we faced the painful reality in Glasgow that the world would fail to deliver on that promise. The world, specifically the international community of states, needs a new effective tool. We must be able to employ criminal sanctions, have the power to arrest people, and try individuals in an international court. In other words, we must invite Lady Justice to use her sword rather than offer tax incentives to individuals and corporations. I cannot emphasize enough that the world is about to reach a point of no return. However, what I can do is to remind you what the international community has done in the face of a similar crime of historic proportions. In the aftermath of World War II, the Allied powers used criminal sanctions against the regime responsible for the war's atrocities. Although the tool wasn't perfect at the time, employing criminal sanctions helped to deliver the need for justice and action on behalf of the victims. The scale of the current environmental crisis means that we must once again look to criminal sanctions to deliver justice and action for the new wave of climate victims. My research will identify how we can do that effectively. The first part of my research aims to analyze the idea of environmental crime. I will illustrate how international crimes, such as crime against humanity, are similar to environmental crimes. This similarity will lead international decision makers to frame their potential actions and policies in terms of criminal justice. My project is unique in looking at how we justify the involvement of the international community legally and legitimately in order to strike a balance between the state's sovereign rights, individual liberty, and right to the environment as human rights. The second part of my research is about imposing criminal sanctions against corporations. They are responsible for the majority of environmental harm. As you know, corporations are not natural persons like you and me, not because they don't wash their hands after going to the toilet, but because they cannot be held responsible for their complicity in crimes in international law. My project will aim to explain why the international community should establish a legal framework for corporate criminal responsibility instead of our current approach for only individuals. In doing so, we can finally arm Lady Justice with every tool at her disposal and give our world a fighting chance against climate change.